Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Every Other Weekend Dad. What do you do with the days that you have with your children? Let's talk about it. So, as a single parent, you may have your children on a regular basis, or you may have them, in my case, every other weekend and once a week and here and there if you're lucky. So what do you do with those precious weekends that you have with your children? Well, you may have them every other weekend or you may have them on a regular basis. Like myself, I have my children every other weekend. So I really have to plan out those days, those precious weekends that I have them. And during the week, I can also plan what I'm going to do. So what did I do this past weekend with my children? You'll have to excuse the noise. I am in the basement, and that is the hot water tank turning on. My girlfriend and her coworkers got together and registered for a charity event called the Girl Mud Run. So I thought it would be a great idea if my little girl can join, and she was more than happy to also register and have her in the team as well. I was a little worried in the beginning because my daughter is a bit of a princess. She doesn't like to get dirty. So, I was a little worried going into it, but you never know unless you try. So she didn't put up too much of a fuss. In the beginning, she was a little upset. She didn't know what to expect, but it turned out that she did like it for the most part. It was a little intimidating for her, but she was a trooper. I didn't have to convince her. She did not complain. It was a huge event. First time she's ever done anything like that. And I'm so proud of her. And the thing was, she did it and she was a little cold, but overall she loved it. And you know what? If she never wants to do it again, it's the experience that she went through was just amazing. And she brought home a medal, and just looking at that medal, she was so proud of herself. And she's so proud that she says she's going to bring it to school and show it off in class. Now she's 8 years old, and there wasn't very many young kids there. The most common age group there, I would say, was around 20 and up into 50s. And it was great to see everyone there. Now, I was the designated babysitter / videographer. So I took my camera, I took some pictures, I took some video, I chased them around. It was a bit challenging because I had to cut through the fields, read a map. It was pretty cool. But I had 2 5-year-olds following me around. Now, they had a lot of fun. In the beginning, it was a little tough because it's mucky, and I was dragging them around, and at the end of the day, they loved it too. So all in all, I did 2 duties. I did the video, photography, babysitting, and while the girls were out having fun and racing around. Now, to top it all off, at the end of the day, we told them we would go to the pool, the community pool. So everyone was looking forward to going into the hot pool, and we pretty much stayed there the whole time being there. And we came home, we had a barbecue, and at the end of the day, I took my kids home. Overall, they had a great time. My little guy that's 5 years old, he said, "Daddy, I had one of the best days ever." And the worst part for him is that he fell in the muck. He got himself dirty, which he didn't expect to be dirty. But, all in all, he just loved it. He loved it. And they're also learning how to swim. So here's the other part. Because we went to the community pool, it's also almost like homework for them. Now, every Wednesday, I have my kids going to swimming lessons. And they're having a tough time. Well, I can't say they're having both a tough time. My little guy is having a tough time being comfortable in the water. It's all new to him, 5 years old, I get it. My little girl, at first, she was the one that was all afraid. Now she's diving under the water. She's having a blast. You know, one of the best things that you could do for your children is put them into things. You know, if they can't swim, if they've never gone to the beach, or anything, even if they go to the beach, there's a good chance they don't even really go into the water. It's very intimidating. And you know what? They're just going to play in the sand. You know, and that's fine. That's great. Your kids are always going to have fun. But more importantly, for them to be able to swim and learn how to swim, you know, they'll never feel left out going, you know, over to a friend's house, swimming. And if anything were to happen, they would feel comfortable swimming. And it's just a good basic life skill that I think everyone should really have. Me growing up, I did not have the privilege of going to swimming classes, unfortunately. So I'm not the strongest swimmer. So I always tell my kids, you know, if daddy gets into trouble, you guys are gonna come save daddy. And they thought it was the funniest thing ever. But then back to me, they said, Daddy, if we were ever stuck, would you come save us? And I said, absolutely. Now, worst comes to worst, you're always going to be prepared to jump in for your children no matter what. But the most important thing is, you know what, if everyone can swim and everybody's having a great time, then there's no worries whatsoever. Whenever you're going to the beach, or even going to friend's pool, or even having your own pool, you feel comfortable knowing that your kids can swim. Now, saying that, my little guy, it's a little slow going for him. He doesn't even really want to get his hair wet. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have the same problem. Kids going to the bath, they're afraid of getting in the water, afraid of soaping their hair, but going to the pool really helps them get comfortable, you know, with the water in their eyes and all that kind of stuff. My little girl has no problem now. My little guy, this last weekend that just passed, he went in the pool. He was a little intimidated again, but then we spent 2 hours in that pool. After that, he was pushing me away. He had a noodle where he can float, but he was balancing himself on that noodle, and then we started playing. He was concentrating a lot. In the beginning, he was concentrating a lot of not getting water in his eyes or in his mouth. So after a while, when I was trying to get him to learn how to blow bubbles in the water, bringing the water level over his lips, blowing some bubbles, then we were having some fun. We were playing shark and all that. After that, he was totally not even thinking about anything. His head was going under the water. He'd come back up. He'd give me the thumbs up. Great experience. So with all that being said, it is important to spend that quality time with your children. It's a little tough when you're a single parent. When I was taking my kids in, when I was on my own, you know, you get comfortable, you have your kids watch cartoons all day, you cook them a meal, and then they watch more cartoons, movie, maybe you make it, and then it goes to a movie night. Next thing you know, it's bed, you wake up in the morning, same routine, and then you find themselves going home, and then you regret not doing anything and not spending quality time with your children. Next weekend comes by, you know, you miss your children, and you're just looking forward to the next weekend. I fell in this rut of just being happy to have my kids, hugging them and kissing them, and not doing much. You can just go, if there's a park or anything like that near you, go to the park. You know, being 5 and 6, they can pretty much run around, and you don't have to worry too much. They may fall, scrape their knee, and you pick them up and you comfort them. And that's all part of it. You know, just being a parent, being there. And they love when you just pick them up and comfort them, brush them off, and away they go, and they just run again like it didn't even happen. What's important is always plan out your next weekend or whatnot, even if you don't really have anything really epic like a mud run, or if you don't have a local pool that you can go to, maybe you can plan to go to the next town or something like that that does, and you can do something every once in a while. If it's something they really love, then make that trip. It's all worth it. And when you're there, maybe you can make a trip to a little restaurant and you sit with your children, and they love those things, and those memories are so precious. It's just I can't wait when my kids get older and we can reminisce about how we went out here and we did this and we did that, and teaching your kids how to ride a bike. As a parent, you should be proud, and putting in the effort of teaching your kids the simple skill of even riding a bike. And then those memories are so precious and you'll love it forever. So plan out your next weekend. Just really think, look in the local newspaper, look online, type in your city, city hall, see what events are going on. Maybe there's a play going on, maybe there's a parade going on, maybe there is an open house somewhere and you just go. A lot of parents don't really want to go out because their kids are going to say, "Daddy, can I buy this?" or "Can I get this?" And then they get all mopey and stuff. You know what? We'll talk about that in another video. That is a whole other video that we could go through, and I'll tell you how I deal with that. And there's always the part where, they're disappointed, but you can always uplift them. And we will talk about that in another episode. For now, let's cut it here, and make sure you go online and check out what local events are near you, and plan out your day and make it a surprise for your children. They'll love it. We'll see you. Bye-bye.